I'm Damon Roth, and welcome back to Geek News Now. If you haven't yet, don't forget to hit the subscribe button just below. Now, just last week, the Walt Disney Company took its investors update as a moment to bring early Life Day gifts to the citizens of this backworld outer rim planet that we like to call home. Now, in all of the hoopla that has surrounded the big announcements regarding Star Wars and Marvel, many of us have missed some of the other announcements that are just as important. And in my opinion, sometimes maybe a little bit more important than the two big rankers that are in the room, Star Wars and Marvel. The biggest of these others, in my opinion, is the conclusion to the Indy saga with the fifth and final installment slated for July 2022 release. Way back in 1981, when Lucas and Spielberg revitalized the adventure movie market with Raiders of the Lost Ark, neither they nor the film's star, Harrison Ford, had any idea that they were creating a franchise. By 1984's Temple of Doom, however, it was apparent that Indy himself was a legend. I do wonder, though, how many quarters I fed into that dang video game trying to race those tiny carts down that glitchy track. Marketing at its finest. I mean, for just shy of 40 years, Indiana Jones has grown into a legend of legends, complete with legendary conspiracy tales. I mean, we can spend the next 3 or 4 days discussing all the classic conspiracies about Indy. Was he really named after a dog? The answer, which of course is yes. Did R2-D2 and C-3PO really appear in hieroglyphs? Can you survive a nuclear blast while outrunning aliens in a fridge? And is Indiana Jones actually Han Solo? By the way, side note on this one, the two iconic characters meet in the 2004 anthology comics Star Wars Tales number 19. However, like I already mentioned, topics for another time. What I want to introduce today is an idea of what will happen near the end of the upcoming conclusion for Indiana Jones. Now, this is nothing but speculative. I have no facts, no insider information, nothing but simply a couple of historical moments of precedence and an opinion. Are you ready? Indy dies. Yes, for realsies and irrevocably. Not a fall down a core shaft or some off-camera, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't moment, but a full-on, close-up shot of his last breath. A true classic Hollywood send-off for a legend. Just mean the character, but the actor himself. He's 78 years old. Why do I have this opinion? Why do I think this? Well, let's look at some simple precedents. Hollywood loves this idea. The idea of ending a saga is as old as Hollywood itself. Now throw in the ego of the actor with the thought of an Oscar-worthy death scene. What do you think he dreams about with flying? Harrison, that is. The time in 2004 when he won the Cecil B. DeMille Award for his outstanding contributions to the world of entertainment? Or his lone trip to the Oscars for Witness in 1986? He wants to go on that stage as much as any other actor does. It is also well documented fact that Ford wanted Solo to die at the end of Empire Strikes Back, and then the Return of the Jedi. He finally got this wish with, for me, what is still one of the moments in cinema history that tugs at my heartstrings in The Force Awakens. Personally, I think this was one of the most dramatic moments in the Star Wars franchise, and it actually makes sense, but again, different time, different place. I'm not saying that Ford has an ego or anything, but if you were two of the major iconic characters of the past 4 decades, and you haven't got an Oscar yet, you get to make certain requests. So throwing all of that Hollywood precedence in a pot with the ego factor of Ford, plus the allure of ending the saga permanently, at least in this iteration, may just be too much of a call for the film director of Ford versus Ferrari and Logan fame, James Mangold, to ignore. Now, finally, I want to add that I'm not actually against a properly done death for Indy. The character is over 40 years old. Eventually, his luck has got to run out. There are only so many supersized boulders you can outrun, only supernatural demons you can outwit, and only so many nuclear explosions you can survive. So for sure, let Indy have his last stand and appropriate exit. The House of Mouths just better not touch the hat. For Geek News Now, I'm Damon Roth. And don't forget to hit subscribe below.